Growing a handmaking business is hard work. Let me take some of the guesswork away and together find out in this interview how a hand lettering maven transformed her art into a booming business. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome back to my channel. It's Karen here and I'm going to introduce you to Doris Wai, founder of the hand lettering company Love Lettering and author of this amazing book, Extraordinary Hand Lettering. In this post, she shares with us how she got started, why she got started, how she grew her business, how she promotes, and most importantly, about her new Kickstarter project. Before we jump in, if this is your first time here, please remember to hit subscribe and the notification bell and stay till the end so you can find out how to win our collaboration giveaway with Doris for her autographed book and a $100 gift voucher for Canada Bliss, my online shop. Now let's get started. Hi everyone and welcome, and this is Doris Wai. She is one of my favorite hand makers. She built a booming business out of hand lettering, and over the course of the last 5 years, is it? Yep, 5 years. She has taken off and completed amazing projects that I absolutely must share with all of you and share her experiences as well. Well, welcome Doris.
Thank you.
I know that a lot of our viewers are probably going to be asking about how you got started. Maybe you could fill us in a little bit on that.
Well, about 5 years ago, my daughter was about 2 years old, and at that time I kind of wanted to be able to stay home with her, but then I thought to myself, what is it that I had, or what skill did I have that I thought I could offer the world? And I always knew that I really liked hand lettering. My background is in illustration, but what I loved to draw most was letters. So knowing that, I just started a business focused around the service of hand lettering and who I thought would need that service. So I work a lot with businesses and event planners for weddings. I do a lot of things for decor for the home. So,
nice. Yeah. Just out of curiosity, did you come right out of school and start lettering, or were you in any sort of like art a career prior to that?
So I always loved art. I always loved lettering. I went to the Ontario College of Art and Design for illustration. So my education background is fully in the arts. However, when I got out of school, I did teach art in Hong Kong for about 2 years in an art studio called Color My World. And after that, when I returned back to Toronto to get married, because my boyfriend lived in Canada, that was when I did not do anything creative. So there was like almost a 10-year period where I just had normal jobs.
Wow.
Before I started Love Lettering, I was actually an office manager at an import-export company dealing with food. So in that role, I learned to kind of like wear a lot of hats because I did a lot of like marketing and accounting and like managed some salespeople. And so I think the combination of my education background in the arts along with like real world jobs like managing an office has actually helped me create my own business a little bit easier, because having your own business means you have to wear a lot of hats too.
Right.
So.
And it's amazing how we can bring in things from different parts of our life and help it, like use it to help us in our business.
Definitely. I think that every job that I've ever had, starting from like customer service at McDonald's, like has helped me with every part of my business now. So yeah, like this Love Lettering, my company, was actually just, it was never in my plan until I had my daughter. And then from there, I really felt like I needed to do something where I could take care of her, but also be authentic to who I was, and also create a life where my daughter could see who I was through my work, as opposed to me going to a job and spending 8 hours there like doing something that like I love all my jobs, okay, I have to say that, but like what I'm doing now, she actually sees my personality and she sees who I am through my work.
And I'm sure she can see your work ethic as well.
Well, I try to work hard, you know what I mean? I always say I just try not to waste any time. Like, you know, I try to make every minute productive if I can. And that includes like posting on Instagram, like, you know, reaching out to friends, networking, you know, even having a drink with friends, talking about business is considered like work.
Yeah.
Because it helps the business, but it's also fun as well, right?
Yes.
So, yeah.
And honestly, that's one of the things I most admire about you. You are always productive, and you're thoughtful in how you spend your time. I think that's amazing.
I think most, like, if I can spend time with people like-minded like me, creative, you know, with their own special skill, why would I not want to do that? You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, yeah.
And we also kind of learn from each other.
Exactly.
I know I learned a lot from you, because when I first started, Doris and I, let me just say, we met at a small craft show in Bloor West Village in Toronto, and a mutual friend just so happened to invite the both of us. I had just started. Doris was kind of at it for a year or two.
I feel like I was just starting at that time too. Like it was just the beginning for me. Like I thought that, like, not knowing each other, we probably would thought like, oh, that girl's made it. Like, you
No.
know?
I don't know if we ever feel like that.
No, I don't think as artists and creative people we'll ever feel like, oh, this is the end. Because it's in our nature to just keep on creating, right? So
yes. So after that, we both started kind of doing the one-of-a-kind show. She actually got started first, and like the generous Doris, whenever I had questions about things that she was already doing, I would give her a call, and she would help me out, like just bouncing ideas. Should I do the show? How much should I bring? What should I do?
I'm always happy to help. Like, you know, everyone has to start from somewhere, right? So, like, you know, to this day, I always have questions still, like, for a lot of things, right? So, yeah.
And she helped me keep it economical, too, because we all have to do that as starting entrepreneurs, and she lent me my floors for my first show. I don't know if you remember that.
Of course I remember that. And yeah, like, I still have that really cute hat.
Yeah.
We bartered.
Yeah.
We bartered, you know? Like,
so after that, you started dealing with clients while you were taking care of your daughter. And then how did your business grow?
So I think that I got noticed most because of the wedding industry. My niche, I could do hand lettering and calligraphy, but I think that my niche is being able to letter on any surface and knowing what tools to use on what surface to create signs on anything. I say that my specialty is lettering beyond paper. Like, you know, I can do everything on paper and do calligraphy and do, like, you know, cards, envelopes, everything. But I think the unique thing about what I can do is I can transfer those things from paper to things. So at that point, there was a moment where these vintage rental companies were coming up where they had these beautiful mirrors and chalkboards. I think that my advantage was that I was able to transform those pieces into art for people's weddings and things like that. And that's kind of how everything got started. But my job, I think, is creative because, as mentioned, I can take anything and turn it into signage or art. The creativity is to find that unique piece, find the right words, as well as the design in the lettering that makes the piece so magical. From there, everything just kind of snowballed, and it's been like a wonderful journey so far.
Wow. In terms of knowing what to create or what to use on different mediums, was that from your art experience or was it just trial and error?
That's definitely going to the Ontario College of Art and Design really plays a major role in knowing what type of medium works well with what type of surface. Because I know these type of little tips and tricks, that's how I got the opportunity to write my book, which is Extraordinary Hand Lettering, where I actually teach people how to letter beyond paper, what tools to use, the processes that I use when I'm creating these pieces, so that other people can pick up this hobby or skill so that they can live this type of lifestyle that I live, where I use hand lettering to decorate my house, to give gifts to people, and to create beautiful signage for when you have parties and things like that. Honestly, I'm like an open book, when it comes to anything that I know. Given the book opportunity was a way for me to just show the world what knowledge that I had, which is not your typical knowledge that you would know about lettering, right? what I'm doing is just kind of like taking like lettering and just applying it to anything, which is like a new thing in itself.
Yes.
The book is based on like giving people ideas of what they can do with the art of hand lettering, and then just showing them the tools that they would use to make the process a little bit easier.
Yes.
I always tell people when I'm doing my work that I'm actually drawing letters, I'm not actually writing letters. And there's a difference, right? Because with drawing letters, you're kind of just like building up the shapes of the alphabet.
Yes.
As opposed to writing, you're like writing. My writing is not that great. Like if you saw my grocery list, you would be like, oh, you wouldn't imagine that this is what I do for a living, right? But imagine like you're painting a portrait. There are steps to do that. I would say it's the same thing for when I'm creating my pieces. There is a process and steps to do that.
I find that a lot of us take a lot of time with our art and our craft, and one of the hardest things is promoting it as well. One of the things that's important for us to do is a lot of social media, and you seem to have like really embraced it and been able to put your work out there. Can you tell us a little bit more about some of the mediums that you use for social media and how you use them?
Sure. I think that social media is super, super important, and I really do credit Instagram for basically a lot of my success. When I started out on Instagram, I used it almost as if it was like an online journal. I chose Instagram because it's more of a visual platform, as opposed to Facebook, which is like, it can get a little bit muddy when it comes to like all the information that's on there.
Yes.
But because Instagram is such a visually beautiful platform, I thought it would work really well with what I'm trying to do. So in the beginning, I used to post on Instagram every day, sometimes twice a day, if not to let people know what I was working on, at least to give people ideas of what I am capable of.
Yes.
So since then, like, I've just been building it up like more and more. I have like just like barely skimmed the top of how to do all that stuff, because I feel like in the end of the day, it's still my journal. So I want to keep it authentic like that.
Yes.
Like, you know, and just post things that I feel like I want to remember, or I really, really love, or the people that I've really worked with that I really love, and the events that's happened since I started. But yeah, you just have to be very vigilant. Like,
Yes.
you know, when you're on social media, and you've got to think about it like it's your job to post on social media, because it is your job. Marketing your business is part of the job, right? So thankfully Instagram makes it a little bit more fun, right, and really nice to look at. But there are pressures to keep up as well, right? So like I've gotten to a place where like sometimes it's like I'm so busy I can't post on Instagram because I'm too busy doing the work, right? So I mean, like, you're always trying to juggle one thing or the other, right? So
I gotta ask about that, because I think you do an amazing job. You're authentic, and you still at the same time you're able to show what it is that you're making, and you put out in a very authentic way. How do you manage when you feel like it is a lot of pressure on you?
It really is, but like I have no problem stepping away. Like, do you know what I mean? Like I sometimes, like, I think the longest that I've not posted was maybe 3 weeks, or you know what I mean? Like sometimes I love a post that I've done and I just want people to continue seeing that specific post if they were to visit my, you know, Instagram page, like, you know what I mean? So like yeah, like, but also it's like if I don't have anything new to say, if I don't post on Instagram, it's because I don't feel like there's anything new to say that's worthy, and I just don't want to just post something for the sake of posting it.
Yes.
This is why it's like I'm a little bit less hesitant to post now. Not because it's strategy, more because like I just, whatever I want to put out to my audience, I just want to make sure that it's something that's true and authentic. I think like if you always come from the place of being authentic and true, then you're not doing anything wrong. So if that means you're going to take 3 weeks to post, then take 3 weeks to post, right? However, that I wouldn't use that as to procrastinate.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like Like for me, the right post and the right words at the right time has to be important. Yeah.
Now your business is growing. You've now done shows. You've serviced direct clients and written a book.
Yeah.
And what else do you have happening?
Well, after I wrote the book, like the year after, I just felt like I had like more to give, like, you know, more to give. So that's when I started the YouTube channel. So then I figured like I wanted to give people more ideas of what's possible with the art of lettering. So I started a YouTube channel called The Lettering Lifestyle, where I kind of go through projects with people, can watch me go through projects. So there's that. But then I'm also teaching workshops as well. So I can see people face to face and give them like tips and tutorials like in real life. So there's like there's a reason behind all of it, right? I just want to continue to give my knowledge and provide inspiration to other people who love hand lettering too. Hopefully make other people love lettering as much as I love lettering.
Yes.
So, yeah.
We, as crafters, we always want to also feed the craft as well.
Yeah. For myself personally, I need to grow and be creative with my time in my business in order to keep myself challenged.
Yes.
And feeling inspired too.
Yes.
Like with what I can do with my skill.
Yes, it's amazing as an artist, and I love the creative part of marketing as well. And it's amazing how it can spill over your artistry from not just your hand lettering, but into how you promote and make it visually appealing to people, and also finding the right channels to show your art and your craft. Because with hand lettering, I know that it's it's aesthetic. It shows amazingly on photographs.
It's also a way to communicate, right? Like, I always think that, lettering is a form of communication. Can you not make it beautiful as well as informative? So everything that I create, I always try to think of it from, the artistic point of view. But if the art, if you can make it beautiful, you're gonna draw the person who's looking at it in.
Yes.
And that's the point, right? You're trying to give a message. But can't that message also be beautiful so that it captures your attention? And
you talk about giving back and connecting with people.
Well, currently I am pivoting a little bit because currently I'm trying to create my first art exhibit. So
Amazing.
Since I started Love Lettering, it's always been a business, right? It's always been a service and a hand lettering service and a business. And I feel like I've done quite well in the 5 years that I've had my business. However, I know that in my heart I felt like I can do something more with the gift that I've been given. This year I'm trying to have my own art exhibit. So currently I'm working on a Kickstarter campaign for my exhibit called Bottled Feelings. Bottled Feelings kind of stems from my own bottled feelings of things that is very difficult to say as an artist, sometimes as a parent, sometimes as a wife. We all have moments where we have things we want to say but we can't, and we just bottle it up. So one of the things I feel like I've bottled up was oh, I think I'm meant to do something more. But when I say I'm going to do something more, what is the more that I'm meant to do?
Right.
For me, I think that this exhibit will be maybe the something more that I'm thinking about, because what I want to do, right now there's an online submission form for people to submit their bottled feelings anonymously. I will gather these feelings, and my hope is to hand letter them onto glass bottles.
Yes.
Where they would be displayed in this art exhibit. I want people who have the bottled feelings to validate those feelings through the submission, and hopefully they get to see their feeling on a bottle out in the real world, and it validates their feelings. Second, I want people who are visiting the exhibit to connect with the people's bottled feelings.
Yes.
Perhaps you can relate to the person who submitted those feelings, and then you can have a conversation with whoever you came with. But I just feel like maybe I can use my hand lettering for meaningful moments and start conversations, and also be beautiful at the same time. I'm kind of pivoting from like a hand lettering service to becoming like an artist, right?
I think you're always an artist.
Well, I always feel like I'm using my artistic skills when I'm working with my clients, right? However, there's always parameters around when I'm working with a client.
Right.
This project is more like something I've dreamt up in my head, right? And it's, even though it's a collaboration with a lot of people's feelings, and it's a Kickstarter, so a lot of people are supporting the campaign. I feel like we're building this together, and it will be an exhibit that like where everybody comes together to connect over things that we might not be able to say.
Right.
But in that moment, you can relate, and then you'll know, see, I'm not the only one that feels like that,
Yes.
right? Maybe there are other people that feel like that.
I think that's amazing. Like, you found a way to express yourself as an artist and also connect with your audience, and maybe even connect with new people who have ideas and thoughts that they want to share that they can contribute to your exhibit.
Yeah. Even like with your own partner sometimes.
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean? You know, there are moments like you're like, like, you know,
Like,
but
you
you
do
just
the
kind of
dishes.
well, no, I say that out loud. no. But you know, like sometimes, like, you know, if you're in arguments and things, like, you know, you do bite your tongue. Sometimes people hold on to like these feelings for all their life. It might be holding them back. If they can like submit it, they can kind of release it.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
How did you conceive of the idea? Did it take long, or did it pop
It did.
into
You know what? I had this one client who gave me these specific bottles that went for an event, and when I lettered on those bottles, I was like, this is the bottle. This is what I want to use, you know, as the vessel for my exhibit.
Like
right?
your inspiration.
So, you know, bottled feelings is such a literal thing as well, right? And like the exhibit literally comes from my own bottled feelings and insecurities about what I should be doing with my time in my life. I think with every year, I just try to challenge myself to do something different and new. I feel like creating the exhibit is actually more authentic and easier for me. I know I could do it. Creating the Kickstarter is the more difficult thing, to try to raise funds to back the art exhibit. It's just not in my nature usually to ask for help for anything. But for this specific exhibit, I felt like it was important to get people behind me. Because I want to know if people are interested in what I'm trying to create. And then if the exhibit comes to life, how many people will visit the exhibit, and then they would all be a part of that experience too.
Right.
So it's intended to be a free exhibit. So it's like, I just want it to be free because I want everyone to be able to come and relate and communicate and just see beautiful lettering.
Wow, thank you. Thank you for sharing that with us. Now, what we're going to do is, at this point in the campaign, I can't wait to see the exhibit, and I want to contribute as much as I can to be able to make sure that this happens for you. So, and if you could also help contribute as well, I'm going to put a link of Doris's Kickstarter campaign in the description. If you could contribute to the exhibit, that would be amazing. We'll post pictures and video of the exhibit when it happens, and also I'll put a link to her website below so that you can also visit her and see her work. And if you're interested in her book as well, you could get her book off of the website. For this post as well, what we're going to do is we're going to collaborate on a giveaway.
Yes.
Yay! So what we have to give to you is an autographed copy of Doris's book, and I'm also giving away a $100 gift card for Canada Bliss for my hand crochet hats. So if you could visit both Doris's YouTube site, which is
The Lettering Lifestyle,
and also if you could comment below love lettering and subscribe to each of our sites, then you will become a candidate for the draw. We'll be doing a random comment pick, and then we will contact you after the draw to let you know who won. Thank you so much for having me in your studio and having us and telling us your amazing story.
Thank you. Thanks everyone for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave comments below to try to win the book and the $100 gift card. Thanks so much.
Thanks everyone.
Good luck everyone.